Alright, guys, welcome. You guys should be able to hear me, and if the music is too loud, just let me know. Ralph, what's up? Lady Mana, what's up? Alright, so what are we doing right here? We are in the year 2026. We just got past the 2026 midterm election, so here are the results of this. Democrats got 57% of the seats, 248. Republicans got 147 seats. The Independents Rally got 1 seat in the House of Representatives, and the Green Citizens Party got 39 seats, or 9% of the... Already waiting for the Nan bug. I have not come across any Nan bug. 39 seats for the Green Citizens Party, and then in the Senate we have 58 seats for the Democrats, 33 seats for the Republicans, and 9 seats for the Green Citizens Party. Effectively, we do have a coalition in which we have 58 plus 9. That is about 57. Situation on the ground in Europe. Ukraine won their war against Russia. This is an effective win, even though Crimea is still under Russian occupation. We do see that Ukraine was able to liberate all of their occupied territory post 2014. So even the Donbass has been liberated and has been returned to Ukrainian control. So there's no terrorist organization now, or regional movement organization in the Donbass anymore. Dreaded Nan bug. Kirkland Day is back. How are you? And then the situation with NATO is actually very interesting. So if you actually saw my newest Eversim quality content meme, you'll actually see this. So newest members to NATO is Sweden and Finland. And as well, post the beginning of this game, Bosnia and Herzegovina was accepted to the organization, and as well as the Ukraine. Why did I say that? As well as Ukraine has been added to the organization. So Ukraine is now under full NATO protection. And I already have a prior defense agreement with the Ukraine, and actually, since they are now a part of the organization, I'm actually going to start deploying more troops to theirs. We're going to aim to have about 75,000 troops in Ukraine, and we're mostly going to actually start building up air forces. We're going to say the South Ukraine Air Force Base, South Ukraine, South. Why did I name it South? Don't we have this? We have Odessa. It's about like central. I don't know what I was thinking whenever I named this one. We are going to name this Cherkasy. We'll call it Cherkasy. Even though it's a pretty considerable distance away from Cherkasy, but that's the closest major city that I can see. We also have Bila Servika, 7-month membership. Let's go. Maximo, what's up? Bonus points if you help Ukraine with armament. Can you do a Russia playthrough and try to annex Ukraine without using nukes? Yeah, but I'm gonna be screwing up the Russian economy as much as I can, you know. Name it the Thug Shaker Command Center. Alright, so we're actually going to start deploying some more air forces to Ukraine. Hey, all TGIF. Yeah, we're only going to be live for like an hour, maybe hour and a half. hour, 11, 12, 1. Latest we're gonna be is 1 o'clock Central Time. Because I actually have to go somewhere. At the same time, we're actually going to be building up some infrastructure in the United States. So this is the situation we have with infrastructure right now. So what we have, let's go ahead and look at this. So in California, we have a high-speed rail line that connects... did I really not connect them? Holy shit, I'm an idiot. Okay, so let's go ahead and connect San Jose to San Francisco. I totally forgot to do that. So that'll be done in less than 2 months. And we actually have $908 billion in a treasury reserve. We're going to go ahead and pay off our debt. So we have $842 billion that we have inside of our treasury. And we're going to go ahead and pay ourselves. We could literally pay the Chinese almost completely off. So should I... Because I'm only paying $43 billion in interest to China. And I'm actually paying more in interest to Japan, even though for some reason I have less money borrowed from Japanese. So rate on 0023, make trade deals, and that should help production. What do I owe in the least amount of time? I owe the Brazilians in 4 years. Yeah, we'll go ahead and leave them to their own, because they actually, I had a free trade agreement with them and they broke the free trade agreement because I forgot to interfere in their freaking election. So I no longer have a free trade agreement with the Brazilians because they are just petty. But it looks like the conservative rightists, a very much less radical party, actually took power in Brazil. So, Gabe Vogel, I don't know what your thoughts on that are. CO2 emissions are very much being dealt with right now. We are actually about to be, if we actually look at current CO2 emissions, we now produce less CO2 than China and India. We have moved our carbon neutrality rate to 2040, so that is actually my goal. You can actually see right here how aggressively I have been trying to reduce my CO2 emissions, and you can see right here I am very much way ahead of my objectives for 2040. So we are very much trying to reach carbon neutrality at least by 2035. If I know for a fact I can beat the carbon neutrality by 2035, we can actually do that. You can actually see right here, I was a little lazy about it, but then I really aggressively started to go at the CO2 emissions. You can lower VAT, and that might increase in consumption, which will increase profits, but lower taxes, obviously. The United States does not have a VAT tax. I do not have a VAT tax installed right now. Most of my money is being made by things like the financial transaction tax and as well as the company turnover tax. I think maybe what I could do is that I could reduce the company turnover tax, and that could, well, that would increase growth, but I don't necessarily think that it would increase consumption. So what I was going to do is that we're going to go over here. We're going to go to Florida. We're going to go ahead and start connecting Florida with a high-speed rail system. So we're going to come up from Miami to Orlando. And we'll go ahead and just pay ourselves. $836 billion is being paid off. $842 billion in interest. And if I refresh, $814 billion. We're going to try to get that to about $500 billion. Because I have been very consistently making a crap ton of money, nearly $1 trillion with every single. Helps a lot when you have a private economy. Yeah, Yeah, says the communist. The communist in chat right now. Never trust the commie. Why is the communist telling me economic advice? I run state-run economies, though, so company taxes are small for me, yeah. Makes sense. St. Petersburg. I need to tell Eversim that the placements of Tampa and... So Tampa is actually in the correct place. St. Petersburg is actually right here. Right along this peninsula right here. And we're gonna come up like this. We're gonna go to Tallahassee, and that'll connect us toward the west. And then Jacksonville will be our connection up to the north. I love designing these high-speed rail lines. So Jacksonville, we're going to connect to either Augusta or we're going to connect to Atlanta. AMN is in chat, guys. Go ahead and give him a round of applause. One of the lead helpers of the World Warfare and Economics game. And then we're gonna do Tallahassee to could we go to Montgomery, or should we just connect it straight to New Orleans? We'll do New Orleans. Mobile should actually be like right here. No. Ah, shit. Is unemployment rate 94% and maxing out helping young people? Jesus Christ. Are you really asking me whether a 94% unemployment rate is good or bad? Can you give a guesstimate about whether that's good or bad to you? my buddy, my brother in Christ, your economy is collapsing. If 94% of your people are unemployed, then what the heck? Alright, and lastly, we're just gonna do Houston to New Orleans. God, I love massive infrastructure spending. All right, well, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So we have a consistent thing that you can travel from San Francisco. You can travel from San Francisco to San Jose to to Los Angeles to San Diego, and then from Los Angeles and San Diego, from Los Angeles you can go to Las Vegas, and then from Las Vegas you can go to Phoenix. From San Diego you can go to Phoenix, and then from Phoenix that leads you down to Tucson. Tucson leads you to El Paso, and then El Paso leads you to Lubbock. Lubbock leads you to Dallas Fort Worth, which this one leads to Fort Worth. Dallas then has its own connection from both to Austin and Houston. Austin has a connection down to San Antonio. San Antonio has a connection down to Laredo. And then San Antonio has a connection to Houston. Houston has a connection over to New Orleans. New Orleans has a connection to Tallahassee. And then Tallahassee has a connection down to Tampa, St. Petersburg, Miami, Orlando, Jacksonville, and then Jacksonville has a connection all the way up to Atlanta. So next line, I want to do like a major line. So what we could do... I have every sector owned. Wow. Why are you doing high-speed rail? Sounds pretty communist to me. It's not communist, it's just capitalistic. I like public infrastructure spending, okay? Can you do a Las Vegas to Denver line? How efficient could that be? So would it be more efficient for us to go all the way up to Salt Lake City and then Salt Lake City to Denver? Or could we do Las Vegas to Denver? Well, what we could do is actually El Paso to Albuquerque, and then Albuquerque to Colorado Springs to Denver. No. Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Denver line, that would not be that efficient. So I'll go ahead and draw something up for the Las Vegas Denver line. So let's go ahead and come up here. We have to think about it being the Grand Canyon is right here, so we're going to have to go around the Grand Canyon. And then I want to take into account the Rocky Mountains. Wow, $16 from Idit Lord. Alright, so how efficient was this? Or, I mean, what I could do is I might actually cancel it and try to see what this would look like if I were to follow the Colorado River. Yeah, I didn't even think about following the Colorado River. So this would be $85 billion base. And if I were to fully fund it, $425 billion. And this is going to take us at least 20 months to build. So we're going to draw this again. And what we're going to do is that we're going to go around the Grand Canyon, but we're going to follow the Colorado River to Denver. And then from Denver, we'll go south to Colorado Springs. And in Colorado Springs, we are going to go to Yeah, that was a very short route. And then from Colorado Springs, we're going to go south to Albuquerque, and then Albuquerque to El Paso. I like background music, by the way. Good beat. Yeah, I actually like this, and this is like a 12-hour playlist, so it's really, really good. All right, we'll get this done in 25 months to $38 billion annually and $183 billion over the next 5 years. We'll do $200 billion, $41.5 billion, get it done in just less than 2 years. So we'll see you in 2028. Nah, screw the Utahns. Are you keeping tabs on your space program? Yes. So basically, the recent missions that we've been sending out was the Thomas Paine Venus lander. Thomas Paine Venus lander launched on August 1st, 2026. It will achieve its mission on February 17th, 2027. This is being launched from the Mali Cobb Space Launch Facility. And again, this is the Thomas Paine Venus lander. It's a space probe with exploration robot. Wow, 5 memberships. Holy, oh my god. Edit Lord, thank you. Yochim is now a member. Nathan Maxwell. IST Phantom Games. We have a lot of people here. Keithlyn Smith. Anime profile picture. And another mission that we did launch is the Europa Lander 2. So, infamously, I did screw up, and I tried to launch the Europa Lander early. That didn't work out as well as I had hoped to. So we did do and plan a Europa Lander 2. This will launch on October 4th, 2026, and it will achieve its mission on October 3rd, 2031. This is a space probe with exploration robot and a return of samples to Earth. So what we're actually going to do now is we're going to call this Father Sky and then Space Probe with Landing. So if you're wondering, Space Probe with Landing on a gas giant, it says construction and launch of a space probe that will land on a celestial body in the solar system or at minimum enter the atmosphere. Using the number of sensors, the probe will transmit detailed information on its environment, chemical composition, meteorology, etc. So we're going to do 2 different missions. We're going to do the space probe with landing, and then I also want to do a orbital probe. That way we have a probe that's kind of going around and a probe that's, you know, going around and kind of maintaining its orbit and getting a lot of meteorology stuff. We'll do orbital probe for the Father Sky, but I want to do a space probe with landing. And I want to name it... What should I name it? Uranus. What did they name the one that went into Jupiter? Cassini was the one that... probing Uranus. Jesus Christ. Uranus penetrator. Are we spending billions of dollars just to call it the Uranus penetrator? Maybe. What's a really scientific term that could... Galileo. It wasn't... Yeah, it was Galileo. What's a really scientific name for penetrating? Can you imagine if they actually named something like this? Man, I want to name this something formal and y'all are making me do something funny. Fine. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be like Galileo, except it's going to be Uranus. Uranus. Except it's going to be our anus. I hate all of you. I had such a good... serious gameplay. Now y'all just want to ruin it for me. We're going to call this one the Trident. This is going to be an orbital probe. Not even because of the name, but the... not even because of the name though, but like Neptune and Uranus are honestly my favorite planets. Like they're really terrifying to think about. That there's just these gigantic balls of like floating gas that are just floating out in the deepest parts of our solar system. And now you could fall. You could just fall and fall and fall and fall, and you just keep falling. So the New Frontiers space program is what... There's a lot of them that are still going on. So like, it's New Horizons, which is the one that was a mission to Pluto. We have Juno, which was launched and actually arrived back in like 2016 to Jupiter. We have the Osiris Rex, which is it's an orbit an asteroid by 2020. And then the next one is going to be called the Dragonfly, which this one is actually replicated in the game. And they still haven't announced anything to go to Uranus or Neptune. Like, those are the ones that we know the least about. We know a lot about Jupiter, we know a lot about Saturn, we know a lot about Mars, and like, we don't really know that much about Mercury, we don't really know that much about Venus, we don't know that much about Uranus and Neptune. Like, we should have probes around there, and at this point, we're not going to be there until like 2030, 2040, 2050. Capitalism halting human progress. That's why you haven't explored yet. Shut up. Yeah, the communists had such a better time trying to get to the moon with their little N1 rocket. So 20%.
I'm listening carefully. Thank you.
20% of my workforce is unreported. Illegal unemployment. Illegal employment. So I heard, and I've actually been aggressively increasing this. Someone said we were trying to find. For God's sake, increase your interest rates. Yeah, I have like dead low. I have like dead low interest rates right now. So how do you get? And that's what I'm really trying to find is how do you fight the illegal employment? Because I've been on an uptick about it for a while, and I've been trying to stop it, but I don't know how to stop it. Someone actually made this post about it. Why don't you use hyperloops? Oh crap! I've totally not been using hyperloops. Um, Someone said illegal employment arises whenever you raise the minimum wage, and if wage is more than your starting wage, illegal employment will be growing all the time. Perhaps budget of the fight against unreported employment will somehow freeze its rise, but in the long term, it's only growing. But then that same person replied and said that it was still continuing to rise. So I'm kind of at a loss of what I'm supposed to be doing to try to lower illegal employment. Well, don't even worry about illegal employment then, I guess. Well, the thing is that it does actually have a gameplay effect. That's the biggest thing about it. So, according to people, and actually I'm really starting to see it now, employee social security payments, it goes down because of that. So, illegal employment is basically saying that those people are not paying taxes and your tax revenue will go down because of it. So employee social security payments, which is a massive part of some people's budgets, especially like in the United States, you will see an effect of this. So it's not like it's just a nothing metric. It is actually a very important metric because it affects how much money you are making off the employee social security payments. So yes, it very much does impact the gameplay. I have 100% illegal work and I still get banked though. I don't know. But I also have no employee social security payments. Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest thing. So that's just money that you're losing out on. So is there tax? Severance pay. I think they got rid of the yeah, they got rid of the I can't remember the name of the tax, but they got rid of the tax basically where it was like it's like an anti-layoff tax. Where they would tax you. And so they actually replaced that with the severance pay, which is actually a very interesting metric to kind of mess with. Because basically this means that, like, if I were to go over to health and I wanted to lay off like 100,000 people, it costs me extra. So yeah, you're making benefits off of it, but basically it's like you can only do it so much before it basically becomes too expensive. So you have to pay them because they're state employees. Redundancy taxes, yeah, that's what it was. It was a redundancy tax. God, I hate the amount of civil unrest that happens as the decades go on. I put a missile silo in Guam. I like the new updates, but as always, it's disappointing with like bug fixes first, like with the Nan bug. They've been working hard on trying to get rid of the bugs, so at least in this edition. It's not like they're not doing anything at all, but again, this is what I've been telling you guys to do. Report, 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 report. Talking about it on my stream isn't gonna fix the game. I report them as I come across them because that's the easiest way. I cannot report them for you because I do not know the situation, and it's up to you to report this to Eversim. It's support@eversim.com. It is not support@powerandrevolution.com because that one is an inactive email. Support@eversim.com. Send them your save files and they can help you and try to track down these kinds of bugs. Don't complain about it on my stream. I mean, you can complain about it, I don't care. Don't complain about it on my stream and then not do anything. And then wonder why that these bugs don't get fixed. If you're not reporting it, if you're not saying anything about it, it will not get fixed. You can't expect everyone to do it for you. I don't have time to go around and report every single bug. The only bug I've ever encountered is the constant save corruption. And I've encountered a handful of bugs too, but honestly, like after restarting the game, it fixes itself. Also, do you give money to countries in disasters? You can improve your relations very easily. Yeah, it kind of depends. And yeah, I've actually never had an issue with save corruption. I've never had that issue. So El Paso is now the link. You know, I totally could have done Lubbock to Albuquerque, and then El Paso could have connected down here. Having like hubs, like how Phoenix is a hub, and then Las Vegas is a hub, Los Angeles is a hub, and then I'm gonna make San Francisco or San Jose a hub. How much is all that rail costing you? I'm pretty sure this is costing me trillions of dollars. Dallas is a hub. Houston's a hub. San Antonio is definitely a hub. On the Discord, there's a bug report channel too for small ones, yeah. By the way, mega offshore wind power is like the most OP power production in this game. You get 8.72 terawatts per facility. Yeah, they are extremely expensive, but they are hilariously overpowered. Like all of this off the coast of California, and I am producing 169 terawatts off of 20 facilities. Fusion is awesome. Yes. Yes, sir, it is. If you guys don't take advantage of fusion technology whenever you discover it, you're an idiot. I always nationalize nuclear power because nuclear power is extremely efficient to nationalize. I always leave like the other renewable resources to the private sector, but I actually nationalize geothermal. I could fully nationalize geothermal if I wanted to. Even if there's a deficit, even if there's a deficit, so that the money still go to the reserve for spending on construction. And I wouldn't think that would be a good idea. But I am an avid nuclear advocate, personally. I am very much a huge fan. Relative energy and independence. Someone is in the VC on my Discord. Oh, it's just Lady Fia. I looked up on my Discord and I was like, who the hell is in my VC? What's your profits coming from right now? What do you mean? Electricity. $1.7 trillion, 577 billion. I have $157 billion coming from fusion. We're about to hit a $30 trillion GDP. NATO, economy, GDP. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. We gotta do something real quick. We gotta do something. Cybersecurity, massive cyber attack. Let's go. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Suriname wants to become a part of the OECD.
Duly noted. Our aim. The theory. Of the major vital
Ah, damn it.
only the import terminals will hit and victory for our services that did not end.
Cryptography and cybersecurity. 83. God damn. You know what? Whatever. We'll go for it. GDP 26, 20.
It's true that the blow cannot.
What does that cyber attack accomplish? The cyber attack usually it always brings their GDP down. So if you kind of like, just like I see, China is really starting to accelerate toward me in a GDP form, and so I'm hitting them with the cyber attack, and I'm gonna start really hitting them with cyber attacks to prevent them from overtaking my GDP. It's just me, be friends. Nah, bro. Confidential information. I have strong suspicions that Mexico is going to perform military nuclear tests. Budget access. Why does it say I have a 2.8, nearly $3 trillion excess? Let's actually see who's developed nukes so far. Defense, nuclear warheads. Russia, United States, France, China, United Kingdom, Pakistan, India, and Israel. So no one new has actually developed nuclear weapons. Thankfully. It's almost 2027. Level of democracy. Number of victims per 1,000. We actually still have the very much lowest amount of contemporary slavery. Work illegal employment is 20.1%. just under Taiwan and Serbia. South Korea, Jesus. Luxembourg has the lowest with 1.2%. $30 trillion is our GDP now. It is noon. Fort Knox. I'm actually going to go see Oppenheimer today. Very, very excited for Oppenheimer. I'm going to go see Oppenheimer today, and then tomorrow I'm going to go see Barbie.
Our infiltrated agents.
Oh, jeez. Secret servos. Cyber attack, political spying, dismantle terrorist groups. And then in China, we're going to cyber attack preparation. I have it. Barbie Pog. I heard Nukenheimer wasn't released in Japan. I guess they've already seen it. Shut up. 33 billion. 45 billion if I wanted to nationalize it. Children and youth. That is now cut in half since the beginning of the game. I got my rank 4 carriers. Base, let's go. Religious holiday. Inauguration of a university campus. Ooh! Oh, yeah, let's go. Oh my god, I love that. $1.1 trillion has been given to us. We have a 1.47% instance of illness per capita. Our housing policy is a model for many countries. 5 aircraft carriers have been delivered, and 4.61% growth of the United States economy throughout the year. Nope, Tom Cox just committed suicide. Alright, let's see what we should do with that money. So should we pay more of our own debt, or should we just pay the Chinese off? What are you guys' thoughts? Should I use it to pay down my debt since I have the largest interest rate, or should I pay off the Chinese because that's a national security issue? Guys, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you guys want to see more content like this, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss anything whenever I do make it. Imagine the United States taking a loan from the IMF or WB. I'll just pay off my loan. $770 billion to $733 billion. Oh, right as Gabe said, pay the Chinese. I'll pay him in 3 months. And go out for Bing shitting. 我要中国毛舌头 Bing shitting. 我要 Bing shitting. 我 shit. 我这 shit这 shoot. Yes. The Robert House Fusion Facility. I think the next big thing we're going to do is to connect Dallas and Chicago through high-speed rail. What's going to be very interesting is what cities are going to be connected through high-speed rail whenever it comes to this. So we could do Atlanta. Atlanta's obviously going to be a hub. It's going to be a very major hub. To the west, the south. So we could come up from Tallahassee to Atlanta. Atlanta is definitely going to go over to Charlotte. Charlotte's going to go over to Raleigh. Raleigh is going to go over to Richmond. And then Richmond is going to go up to Washington, D.C., which then connects us already to Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York, and Providence, and then Boston. Then we could go as far up as Augusta. The house always wins, yes. And then from Washington, we would have to go to Arlington, and then from Arlington, or from Washington, we could go to Pittsburgh. Well, from Washington, I mean, we could have two of them. We could have Washington to Pittsburgh, and we could have Philadelphia to Pittsburgh. And then Pittsburgh would have to connect over to Columbus and Cleveland, so that'd be two different lines. And then so Cleveland would connect over to Toledo. Toledo would connect up to Detroit, and then Detroit would connect over to Lansing and Grand Rapids. And then Toledo would go over to maybe Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne could go over to Chicago, and then Grand Rapids could also come up into Chicago as well. And in Chicago, again, would be a major hub that would go up to Wisconsin. Then it would also go over to Iowa. And then Chicago would also mainly have the express route of going from Chicago to Springfield to St. Louis over to Little Rock, and then Little Rock over to Dallas. Or we could do Dallas and then Oklahoma, Tulsa to St. Louis or Jefferson City, and then one of these cities over to Springfield, and then Springfield to Chicago. We're going to go ahead and put the seeds of this down right now. We're going to connect Dallas to Oklahoma City. And then like this, we're going to do Fort Worth to Dallas. I don't know how they would be able to do that, honestly, with the way Dallas is built. And then economically, it kind of wouldn't make any sense. But this is mainly that way there's like a consistent line all the way through, so you can go from Dallas to literally anywhere at this point. And then Oklahoma City to Tulsa. Oklahoma City will also go up north and will connect to Wichita. Waste of public funds, yeah, right. You know that drive between Oklahoma City and Wichita is like the worst? PG here, modernizing Amtrak. Yeah. This is like the modern Amtrak. What am I doing on electric automobiles? What's your GDP? 26 to 30. CO2 emissions is now 7.5. Let's go ahead and also check free trade. Let's see who my most valuable members are, and then let's go ahead and sign a political and economic agreement pact with someone. Would it make sense for me to sign an economic and political agreement pact with Vietnam? So, economic and political agreement pact would be all sectors without a quota system. There are no tariffs, they're completely eliminated. Border control is light, access to the partner's public market, regulations, compliance with security and health regulations imposed by the partner for incoming products, recognition of the country of origin labels verified by the partner, compliance with environmental impact standards of product production regarding global warming, which is low CO2 emissions, which is why your CO2 emissions actually need to be less than 10 per capita. Observance of human rights and working conditions, and intellectual property protection, which is copyrights, brands, and patents. And then fiscal harmonization, which means that your company tax has to be more than 21%. And then fight against social dumping. So would it make sense for me to sign an EPA with Vietnam? Let's actually try to sign an EPA with EPAP? EPAP. That's a EPAP. That's the acronym that we're going to be using. Or EPA or EPAP. Do it. Okay. My economist tells me that I should sign that kind of agreement with Vietnam, so we're going to go ahead and do it. Hemispheric global trade, let's go. I just need to get the Brazilian president out and install a much more friendly one. That way we can get an EPA or EPAP with Brazil. No treaties with Vietnam, no more export of American jobs. That's why we're doing a no social dumping. Whoa, 8.35%. 88,000. Illegal employment is still going up. It needs to be 2.5% to sign global agreements. We've got the organic food sector. Yeah, I always, that's like one of my first priorities whenever I do anything. Because I'm always going to go after the free trade. God, I play like a neoliberal. Which actually, there's a chance that Vietnam might reject it. Because I don't think they meet the standards of minimum wage. There's a possibility. Oh, they accepted it. Mexican government secretly finances jihadist caliphate terrorists which attack Iraq. God. technocratic and hyper-regulatory model of this new pact will restrict the liberties of entrepreneurs and the consumer. Favorable regime change in Fiji. So speaking of regime change, we're on our way. Oh, hang on. I want to see if Fiji will ever let me buy them. Annexation of a sovereign country. We can annex Uruguay, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Monaco, Madagascar, Haiti, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. Let's see how hated Denmark is. 85%. Definitely will not be able to buy Greenland yet. Maybe I can try to buy Sonora. Why does the European Union never, ever, ever want to sign a free trade agreement higher? Like, this has to be bugged. I have to send this to him. I have to.
Our agents had to abort.
Buy Monaco? What kind of benefit would I get from Monaco? US colony in Europe, and it's just Monaco.
As I predicted.
Switzerland hates me right now. Whoa, what happened in Switzerland? The extreme right got into power. Volcanic eruption in Indonesia. A racing track by Monaco joined the EU. I can't wait for Greece to go unstable. That way I can annex them. Now that's the colony I want. How many troops do I have in... Ukraine? We're gonna go for 60,000 troops in Ukraine. What's your energy mix like? I'll show you in a second. Ever do a funny playthrough? No. You know what I actually also noticed? You can bomb cities now and then not have any repercussions on popularity. What's your energy mix like? 627, and then 32% fossil. 32.6% fossil, 8.1% regular nuclear, 16.6% 3G EPR, 22.9% fusion, 4.9% hydraulic, 10.9% wind, 2.7% solar, 0.3% geothermal, and 1% biomass. So if you go over here, we will see that my renewable energy is making up 32.4% of my energy production. Cyprus hates my guts right now, man.
The thing.
Recall soldiers. Ukraine.
Our infiltration.
Should not be a long-term be the best or best energy sources. Nuclear has been of being a large supplier, but long-term it should be more expensive. Offshore mega wind power is very efficient. What's the biggest problem you have managing the economy? Mine is usually the boom and bust cycles. I usually don't have a bust cycle. I never have a bust cycle. So I usually always kind of maintain some sort of boom scenario. Growth forecast. What is my inflation rates? Gotta go PG XOXO. All right, thank you so much for the support today, Edit.
The thing. Our agent. The thing. The package.
Oh, that's what I wanted to see. Where is my rank 4 carriers? Okay, so there's one at Diego Garcia. Come on, why does it do that? We are going to move you to Yokosuka. Look at that. Did somebody say boom? I'm actually gonna save this and I'm gonna follow this and just listen to the music. A lot of profits early on, it drops a bit, picks back up, sometimes depending on the industry. I'm learning everything. Everyone has some issue with this game. Yeah, I know. And that's why sometimes I always feel like the reaction people have to this game is literally just because they don't understand it. The game is complex. The game is complicated. So I don't know. Belarus gameplay win. Yeah, I'm gonna play opposition and get his ass. We're gonna move up about 20,000 troops into Indonesia, into Sumatra.
Our governmental morning.
Kosovo, you want to sell me coal? Not efficient. You're... Ah! Wait, why is it not gonna let me view it anymore? Oh, okay. So this is my new rank 4 aircraft carrier. We're moving through the Straits of Malacca right now. So I think this is Kuala Lumpur. We're going to be passing by Singapore any minute now. Double runways. One person in chat likes Lukashenko because he's a communist, and then the other one likes him because he's an authoritarian. The duality of man. Singapore, let's go. Wants Singaporean basing rights. I mean, I actually have the idea that I can finally base people and ships inside of Singapore, so I should actually start to improve relations with Singapore. It's like going to be the first time I've ever actually interacted with Singapore in this game. Okay, so we're moving into open waters into the South China Sea, so not going to worry about that, but at the same time, I'm actually going to try to organize a meeting with Singapore. Because if I can organize and maybe get a base in there, like a naval base, that's going to be really good. That way I have some coverage against China. So we're going to do 150. We're going to do political spying and approach political groups. And we're going to do manipulation of social media. And in Naples, you have... I want a rank 4 aircraft carrier. No. Norfolk. I'm gonna move a rank 4 aircraft carrier to Naples. So I have one at Quantico, Charleston, and Whidbey Island. This one we're gonna move to Norfolk. We're actually gonna move both of them to Norfolk until I figure out what I want to do with them. And on this one, I'm gonna move to San Diego. Because these are large military bases, and that way I know exactly where they are off the top of my head.
Our agents that have influence. Our agents that.
Secretary of Housing has died.
Sure. Hope you didn't make.
You didn't make me come here.
I have nothing to learn from so-called.
Whoa.
Threatening looks. My people love me, and I love them.
What is this? What is the GDP of Singapore? We're in 65. We could try to get at least a free trade agreement out of them. I'm looking for a new country to play PG, South America or Europe. Which do you recommend? Try Brazil. Brazil is actually pretty interesting. Their political system is kind of wacky, but they're pretty good. Departure of the Russian mafia gang.
The thing.
There's a riot in Kyiv. Is Zelensky still in power? Oh my god, he is. Zelensky is invincible now. Moral character, very nice. Uh-oh. Yeah, he has scandals, financial aid to terrorist organizations, and supplier of weapons to terrorist organizations. Oh no. Brazil could be fun, yeah. One goal that you could have is actually to achieve a free trade agreement with the United States. Or one with China. I mean, if that's what you want to, that's your intentions. A free trade agreement with China or the United States would actually be very useful. An unfavorable regime change in South Korea. God, my relations with South Korea just keep getting worse and worse. God, with all the new war mechanics, I cannot imagine what a war on the Korean Peninsula would look like. What PC config do you have? I have a RTX 3060. I have a X570 motherboard. I have a 3700X CPU unit. I have it water cooled with a Z63 Kraken. No! Come on, South Korea. This is the second free trade agreement that I have lost because of a regime change. Do I have to manipulate everyone? Damn. Nancy Grace Roman Telescope Space what? Nancy Grace Roman? What is a Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope? Oh, I guess they added a new one. Nancy Grace Roman. Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope. This is an infrared space telescope, formerly known as the Wide Field Infrared Survey Telescope. Is a NASA infrared space telescope in development and scheduled to launch by May 2027. It is based on an existing 2.4 meter or 7.9 foot wide field of view primary mirror and will carry two scientific instruments. A wide field instrument, or WFI, is a 300.8 megapixel multi-band visible and near infrared camera, providing sharpness of images comparable to that achieved by the Hubble Space Telescope over a 0.28 square degree field of view, 100 times larger than imaging cameras on the Hubble. Stated objectives include search for extrasolar planets using gravitational microlensing, along with probing the chronology of the universe and growth of cosmic structure, with the end goal of measuring the effects of dark energy, and as well as the consistency of general relativity and the curvature of space-time. Thanks. That's a NASA PC. Not really. Yeah, imagine me playing this game on a fucking 4090. Imagine. It's not great at this. I'm letting my inflation go up a little bit. Actually, my unemployment rate is actually going up. Indonesia just suffered an earthquake. Let's go ahead and send $1.5 billion to Indonesia to help during this. When will you get rid of the fossil fuel power plants, PG? I need to develop another 1,920 terawatts worth of fusion power plants. If I can do that, I will dismantle all of them. I'm kind of like dismantling them a little bit at a time. So I had like 12,000. So I just, because they did change, Eversim did change the energy calculations, I haven't had the need to spend a lot on fusion power, except what I will do is, since I am running such a good surplus right now, I could actually just start to build more fusion plants. So we're gonna go for 35. We're gonna go for 35 fusion plants, and once we do that, I think we'll still be able to dismantle a considerable amount of our fossil energy plants, and then once we can do that, then we can really start to drastically reduce our CO2 emissions further than they've already been reduced. That's a lot of money for Indonesia. I want to play as Indonesia. I really am considering Indonesia to be my next actual series. Do you guys even like the series? Like, should I even continue that? Should I even return to that kind of aspect of content? We're gonna go for 40. Yes, do more series. Yeah, I'll do a poll. But if you guys really want me to continue the series, then I'll go ahead and start forming up ideas on what I can do for our next series. Indonesia could actually be very fun because there's a lot of room to develop, a lot of room. And we have consistent natural disasters where we can like have very, very, very big situations coming up. Uganda or Kenya would be fun. I would do Kenya. What about Tanzania? Tanzania has a lot of regions that I could develop. Kenya is just a single region. But Tanzania could actually be fun. So if I were to do an African country, I want to do Tanzania. Or Tanzania. Is it Tanzania? Tanzania. Because I've heard Tanzania and then I've heard Tanzania. So if you guys are okay with me doing an African country, then I want to do Tanzania. I'm going to say Tanzania until I figure it out. For some reason, I'm already kind of switching over to Tanzania. Guyana would be fun for sure. Suriname. Do an African conquest. No. I don't want to do a conquest. Africa has seen... So it's Tanzania. I've been hearing Tanzania for some reason. Guyana has oil, so it might be too easy. So does Indonesia, I think. Indonesia produces a lot of coal, a lot of oil, a lot of gas.
The theory.
Well, what I'm saying, by the way, there is still 3 syllables, and it's Tanzania. Okay, that's 4 actually. Tanzania. People actually like the environmental aspects of fusion power now. Pronunciation of countries is no issue because unless you're addressing England or Ireland, it's probably a Xenon. Yes. You mean British Ireland? Or the Islas Malvinas? Because we have $772 billion we're going to pay the Chinese. Apparently YouTube Premium I just got an email from from YouTube Premium, they're increasing the price of Premium to $13.99 a month. Those assholes. It says we don't take these decisions lightly, but we'll update. But this update will allow us to continue to improve Premium and support the creators and artists you watch on YouTube. Turkey is actually Turkey now. I don't speak Turkish.
Our governmental cell. Our aid.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, they didn't change the name of Turkey. I totally was thinking about that. Wait, I don't have a free trade agreement with the Turkey. I don't even know if they'll be able to sign it. Let's try it. Global econ. The Turkey name change is also political. Wasn't it because it was a genuine decision because they didn't want to be compared to the bird?
Here is
7.82%. Wow. So I have... $203 billion. God. Look how much it would be to increase all of the main three. Wow. What's your birth rate? Remember to get at or north of 20 per 1,000. Birth rate 12. But it's on its way down, actually. Robert, how are you? Guys, remember to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. Population growth is 0.99, and population is 342 million. And as well, let's go over to immigration, check on this over here. We actually may embark on a deportation operation, as much as I don't like to do so. The Hispanic community leader was targeted by swindlers. Let's put this guy under investigation as well. Easily, immigration is the best thing about the 2023 edition. Like, you can even change your biggest foreign communities now by changing aspects of your immigration system. So if you actually open up your immigration system, you can actually have a much more complex foreign community. Make better visa deals with friendly countries. Yes, I already am. And speaking of Belarus, by the way, you need young, healthy workers. I am already signing a lot of, well, actually, what I should do is go to countries and start asking for them to send workers. So treaties, Brazil. So I have immigratory agreements. That's just mainly the importation of workers for undermanned sectors. And this is from Brazil and Turkey. What I could actually do is that I can go to every single Central American country and then ask them to send workers. That way, for one, I can actually kind of tackle people that are coming here to work. Do student exchanges. I already am. I'm doing all of that. I already am doing all of that. I'm already way ahead of you, buddy. Student exchanges. Do I have one with Ukraine? Bilateral. Why do I not have one with Ukraine? Really? Yeah. I don't think that improves your population pyramid, which determines the worker ratio. Free trade, Indonesia. I have a contract with them. We will do a economic and political agreement pact with Indonesia. Have extremely close political relations, economic relations with them.
Our agents that have infiltrated this organization confirmed their window of opportunity. It goes without saying that the operation is risky, but if successful,
I want to make a defense organizations for the Pacific, especially for Southeast Asia. Because if you actually look at my military relations, you can really see that I am very close with almost every single major country in Southeast Asia. Cambodia is actually going to be my next idea. If I can actually try to get some sort of basis with them. Thailand is a lost cause. Myanmar could be, but I also don't want to interact with them. What is our human rights record? Moral character. $64, yeah. I don't want to be doing this with dictatorships, even though I'm kind of stretching it with Vietnam. Okay, yeah, I'm actually way worse with Vietnam. Vietnam is purely a strategic position. Purely. Monarchy with the Communist Party, what? Malaysia would actually be very useful, but I've always never been able to kind of like get on a clear basis with Malaysia. I have really good strategic relations with them, but I have to improve my economic relations with them like tenfold. Economic treaty, yeah. Figured.
The thing.
And then Georgia, let's go ahead and see whether they give me some sort of like
The target.
boost to relations because of the economic. Let's just give them more aid. Large increase in economic aid. Free trade agreement has been accepted by the Indonesians. Didn't even change my GDP. Wow, look at how far ahead of our objectives we are.
The bill had.
My God, Malaysia still has one region in this game. Yeah, that's why I just will not ever play one region countries. I just don't. Like Kenya, I would love to play Kenya. I really am interested in Kenya. I don't want to play them because they're one region. That's why I would much rather do a series about Tanzania. There's way more room for development. I have a feeling that I'm just gonna go into Somalia. I'm just really tempted to just go into Somalia and just call it a day and just launch a massive military attack against every single terrorist organization in Somalia. Maybe get like a base or two. Get like an extra base in Djibouti and then just launch a massive attack. I won't do it against Somaliland or Puntland. But if I do it against, like, at least the total jihad. Give weapons to a country. Let's give the Somalians... Let's give him like 500 tanks. They actually need some artillery shells, so I'm gonna give them some artillery cannons and definitely some shells. Please don't advertise or tell people to torrent the game in my chat, please. Don't do that. I will mute you. We're gonna give Somalia 10,000 shells. So they have 696 rank 1 tanks. I'll give them like 70 rank 2s. About this game way too much to not tell people. Like, I don't care. I get there's a discrepancy whenever it comes to how much the game costs, but I have a zero tolerance against people telling you how to torrent it, so just keep it out of my chat. It's the only warning I'm gonna give you. Keep talking about it, I will mute you. And no, this isn't me just simping for Eversim or something like that. I'm just not gonna be associated with it, so just keep it out of my chat. I guess I don't have any rank 2 tanks. I guess I can just give him some rank 3s. We'll give him 50. You wouldn't download a house. So yeah, I get that. Again, I get the price discrepancy, but again, keep it out of my chat. Keep it out of the GPS server. Keep it out of my server, and keep it out of the chat. What time is it? It's 1:02. You know, it's funny. I'm providing all these weapons to Somalia for the conflict against the total jihad, but I could just realize that they could possibly use it against the northern areas, which I don't want them to do. So I could. Also, why am I giving a military? Oh man, I'm kind of starting to regret this. I want my weapons back. I want my weapons back. We're gonna send a couple of Black Hawk helicopters into Mogadishu and see what happens. We're gonna save the game, and we are going to call it here. Because I have to go somewhere. Alright. What happened here? Whoa! 3,733 dead from the tsunami in Somaliland, and 17,000 have been injured. You ever tried an Eritrea playthrough hard mode, like 5 million people and 2 billion GDP or something stupid and tons of debt? Speaking of, let's see who has the largest amount of debt here. Economy, total public debt. Total public debt as percentage of GDP. I'm at 102%. 341% for Venezuela and 212% for Zimbabwe. And 193% for Lebanon, 171% for Sudan, and 160%, 150% for Italy. Wait, what's Japan at? Japan's actually not even close. 98%, let's go. 98%. 261%. to 98% for Japan. Their GDP is $5.3 trillion. They have very high growth. It looks like they actually broke the stagnation. Alright. Save it one more time. Alright. Guys, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you guys want to see more content like this, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss anything whenever I do make it on the channel. If you guys want to see a series, I will be posting a community tab poll very soon. See whether you guys would even want me to do that, if you guys are even interested in seeing the actual, like, edited series on here on the channel. That's the type of content you guys want to be watching. So leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you guys want to see more content like this, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss anything whenever I do make it on the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care.